welcome to this quick step guide on Intugle, where we'll be showing you how to create a semantic model over your raw data. So let's start. So here in my Databricks workspace, and I have already loaded a couple of datasets, CSV files, onto my volumes in Databricks. And I've also set up the environment as Python 3.12 and added the Intugle and SQL Python libraries. So let's start. So Intugle underneath the surface uses a lot of AI agents. Hence, you're going to have to provide your LLM and LLM providers here. Now, the first step we need to build a semantic model is define our data sets. So I have defined these are the names of the tables that I want to use and the path to each of those tables, which was the path that I showed you initially in the Databricks volumes. Now we are going to import our knowledge builder and pass in our datasets and provide our domain. Now the domain gives context to the AI agents to build contextual business glossaries. And once you start the build command, the build function in knowledge builder, a couple of things happen in the background. So let's just start running these. So when the build function is called, a bunch of AI agents work in the background to profile your datasets, identify data types, predict links, and generate business glossaries. So we'll give it a minute for it to finish. Now, once the build process is done, we can access all this enriched metadata. Let's see the metadata for the patients table. So we can view it using the profiling df property. And as you can see, we have the column name, table names. We have what was the data type that was identified. Was it a dimension or a measure? The business glossaries, the business tags, some profiling metrics, and the sample data. So you can see it for all the columns here. Great. Now we can also see the links, which we can access through the links df, all the links that were predicted from one table to the other. And we also have a visualize function where you can see the connected knowledge graph, all the links between the tables as a nice diagram. Cool. Now, all this entire semantic model is actually stored as YAML files, which you can access here. So you can find all these business glossaries, all those profiling metrics in each of these table files here. And the relationships, the links, you can find it in there. Okay, so now let's see how we can now sync this semantic model with the Databricks Unity Catalog. So I have a neat function here that will help you do it. You just have to fill in your catalog name, the schema name, and the Intugle project root, which is basically the model's file path, which you can just copy from here. And you also give it the volume amount path, which is basically the directory of your CSV files. Now, what this function will do is it will load those CSV files as tables onto your Unity catalog using the semantic model information that was created using Intugle. So let's see that in action. All right, we'll just wait for it to finish. Great. Now that that's done, if you switch over to your Unity catalog and head over to the tables here, you can see all the tables have been added. And let's pick out one particular table. You'll see that here are all the columns with the data types and the glossaries, along with the business tags. And you can see the sample data here as well. Right. Great. So this is how you can sync your data with your semantic model to the Unity catalog in Databricks using Intugle. So now that we've learned how to create the semantic model, let's see how to consume from it. In this section, we'll be building data products using a semantic layer. So let's, for example, find the top patients by claim count. Traditionally, while creating data products, you would need to write complex SQLs with joins. Using Intugle, you can just pick out the column names. So I'm picking out column names from patients. I'm picking out the number of claims. And I'm also sorting it and saying I want these top results. So with this data specification, we can now pass that in into our data product builder right here. We're passing that in and let's see what this gives. And there you go. That is our data product. You can also see the generated SQL that was used for this. Now, once we have this data product, we can also run the same pipelines and generate the business glossaries for the data product as well. So let's just see how that works. Great. Now we have the data product profiled and you can see the same results as before. We have the business glossaries for each of the columns for that data product. Now let's see how we can sync this just like before with the Unity Catalog. I have a helper function here called create DP table in Databricks, and you can just use this function to pass in the catalog, the data products, and call this function. Great. Now that that's done, let's just switch back to our catalog, and you can see there's a data product section here, and you can see the top patients by claim count. You can see the columns with the glossaries and the data types. You can see the sample data here. And what's very neat about Databricks is that you can see the lineage right here. So you can see that this table was derived from the previous two tables. Pretty cool. So in just a few minutes, we went from raw, disconnected files to a fully explorable semantic model. And we built data products on top of it. So thanks for watching and check out Intugle.